So last night, Sophie Cunningham actually responded to, the Kiki area fan takedown.
Silence swept over the crowd when Mystics rookie Kiki Iriafen sent Sophie Cunningham crashing to the floor during what should have been a routine preseason game. What followed caught everyone off guard. Sophie sprang up, charged at Kiki, and shouted something so heated it had to be bleeped on live television. Dana Bonner, a veteran, stepped in right away to support her teammate. But the situation didn't end there. Just hours later, Sophie posted something on Instagram that rocked the basketball world.
Sophie Cunningham responded right here with an Instagram story about it. And these two teams do not like each other. They do not like each other.
Before we break down Sophie's post, let's rewind and examine the controversial hit that kicked this whole thing off.
There you go. She is fierce in the game. And I know it wasn't announced that Kiki wouldn't play until right before, but this is
a rookie. Knocking down a respected veteran during a Fever vs. Mystics preseason matchup, it reeked of disrespect. Here's what went down. Mystics first-year player Kiki Iriafen shoved Sophie Cunningham in a moment that felt more like a statement than a basketball move. It seemed like an attempt to impose herself, not play the game.
Right there, you can see
Sophie's immediate response spoke volumes. She shot up and yelled straight at Kiki, "You don't mother effing do that!" Her fury was justified. Veterans don't. Just earn their spots, they defend them, like seasoned officers expecting rookies to follow the code. Doing that in an exhibition game stepped way over the line. What made it worse? Kiki grinned afterward, clearly signaling the shove was meant to provoke a bold move for a rookie.
And that's Kiki Iriafen, and I got to tell you, here we go with the smiling like you've done. I don't get it. This is the worst part of the WNBA. It is. A ton of reaction. The smiles afterward, let's get negative.
Tensions exploded when Dana Bonner moved in to confront Brittany Sykes. What began as a one-on-one clash turned into a full-team confrontation. Bonner's response showed how tight the Fever unit is. Target one, face them all. Replays confirm the shove had no tie to the play. No screen, no box out. Kiki just pushed Sophie with zero game-related reason.
Yelling while Kiki's laughing in her face. Never seen a rook have a vet so rattled. Yeah, let's celebrate violence. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
The internet erupted. In the aftermath, fans blasted the Mystics for going low against veteran players, arguing it distracts from the talent on court and breeds unnecessary drama. Coach Stephanie White tried to calm the situation, but Sophie's face said otherwise. She wasn't interested in peace talks. Her glare made it clear this wouldn't be let go. What looked like a throwaway preseason moment might just be the start of a real WNBA rivalry. Every rematch now has a storyline.
It's going to lead to a heated rivalry game. It's going to be leading to that on the 28th of May. We are still in the month of May. We get to watch these two.
Was anyone actually expecting Sophie to let that slide? Not a chance. Instead, she clapped back on Instagram with a post that set social media on fire. Rather than lash out or lodge a formal complaint, she hit back with a cool but savage reply that reminded everyone why she's a fixture in the league. Keeping it playful, she posted, "I'm just a girl and I only play WWE with my sister, so chill." It perfectly mocked the situation's absurdity.
Yeah, this was the response. "I'm just a girl, but I only play WWE with my sister, so chill." And obviously while posting a clip of that.
She dropped the line with such effortless humor that it completely diffused the tension. Sophie turned sarcasm into a weapon, proving she was unbothered. While Kiki tried to come off as tough, Sophie handled it like a tactician, shrugging it off with flair. Her WWE joke made the moment look like a staged scuffle, not a real threat. And here's the twist: Sophie earned a black belt in Taekwondo when she was 6. Kiki picked the wrong person to mess with.
She earned a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. You can earn a black belt at 6 years old? I mean, fair.
That martial arts background gave extra depth to Sophie's breezy, so chill caption. It wasn't just a clever joke, it was a quiet flex from someone trained to handle herself. Like a fighter who knows timing and restraint, Sophie made her point without needing to escalate. Her message was clear. I could end this, but you're not worth the effort.
Times like there are like 5-minute long compilations of Sophie Cunningham starting fights. Like, do we not remember what Sophie Cunningham did last year to Indiana? They literally, I'm not joking when I say this, she walked into an Indiana huddle, threw a blind elbow and walked out.
Sophie's Instagram post landed like a strategic, come back a sharp digital response that hit its mark. Instead of fueling the fire, she took control of the narrative, transforming a tense moment into a statement of strength that boosted her standing and sent a message across the league.
I think she's probably thinking, you know what, let's get the heat off our number 22. When these other teams last year, when they were trying to punk Caitlin, you know what, let's piss off these players enough that instead of them trying to go off Caitlin, get her off her game, they go for me. Like, and that's one of the things with Sophie Cunningham, with those type of players, that people don't realize just how important that they are, and just how big they can be for a team. And you can see again in the response, like, she's posting the video. If she didn't want to smoke, she would not be posting anything.
What really sets this apart is how Sophie approached the fallout. She didn't lash out or call for punishment for Kiki Iriafen. Instead, she leaned on cleverness and calm to change the conversation. Her post radiated quiet confidence and awareness. That one move raised the anticipation for the next Fever Mystics matchup and highlighted the kind of emotional drama that continues to grow the WNBA's fan base.
Look, so the more people are trying to fight Sophie Cunningham, the better Sophie Cunningham is going to play. And you can tell with everything on social media, like, people are saying almost she was more Rodman, like instigator, than she is like enforcer. That's fine.
Sophie made her biggest statement on the court, not online, dropping 21 points on 6 of 11 shooting while grabbing 8 boards and adding 2 assists. She answered in the best way possible by performing. It wasn't just about getting even. It was smart, effective play. And in doing so, she subtly redirected focus away from Caitlin Clark, shielding the rookie from pressure and drawing the spotlight to herself instead.
Cue Sophie Cunningham. She came away with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. She was the difference maker to their comeback starting in the second quarter.
The Mystics have built a reputation for playing rough with Indiana, having gone at Caitlin Clark on several occasions last season. It's becoming a familiar strategy. Sophie responded with a clear stand. If you want to get physical, deal with me. That's the mark of a seasoned player looking out for her teammates by stepping into the fire.
Because Bonner, and Sophie herself are not going to tolerate that. That was the entire premise, that they're not going to tolerate some of the stuff that...
Sophie plays the role of enforcer for the Fever, using her veteran know-how to protect less experienced teammates. She understands that opposing teams will test rookies like Caitlin Clark with physicality. Like a shield, she takes those hits so the younger players can stay locked in. Coach Stephanie White didn't just credit her scoring, she praised her toughness and leadership. It's the kind of presence that teaches future stars how to stay composed under pressure.
Oh my God, Sophie's a dog. She just is, she's a competitor. She's versatile, so she allows us to do different things. Like, she plays with such a toughness. She's huge, and she's going to be for us all season long. But what she brings from an energy standpoint, she raises the level of play of everybody around her as soon as she steps foot on the floor. Hell, even on the sideline. I mean, her communication, everything. She's definitely an X-factor.
The Fever's first quarter was shaky, trailing 24-13. They looked flat on both ends. Defensive energy was missing, and the offense couldn't find rhythm. Then Sophie entered the game and instantly shifted the momentum with her fire and leadership. With Caitlin Clark sitting out due to a minor issue, the team needed someone to anchor them. Sophie answered that call, going toe-to-toe with Sutton, Kiki Iriafen, and Brittany Sykes without blinking.
But listen, the Mystics had a ton of picks. In the WNBA draft, they got a lot of high picks. They got Kiki Iriafen, they got Sonia Citron. She started today, Sonia Citron, and Sonia Citron looked good. There were a few things where I was like, okay, she's just getting her feet wet. She's still getting her footing in the WNBA. But overall, she was solid, like impressive.
Later, Kelsey Mitchell pointed out how vital communication became with Caitlin temporarily sidelined, noting that Clark's voice still helped guide the team from the bench. But it was Sophie's on-court presence that made the biggest impact, her toughness and refusal to back down became the emotional anchor for the squad.
I think it comes from everybody. Even like with Caitlin being out today, her PG leadership was vital. Down the stretch when we were losing, we heard her voice, we heard how in tune that she was. And so I think over the course of time, it'll be kind of like you don't have to even think about the communication part. But I think right now for us to get through these games, communication is heavy. Even from the ones that's not playing or what you still have it.
Sophie's value isn't limited to stats. She's the kind of vet who absorbs pressure meant for the team's marquee players like Caitlin Clark. Every team needs someone who can take the physical toll, keep the energy in check, and show younger players how to handle adversity. With another Mystics matchup around the corner, Sophie has made herself the story. Now the spotlight's on her, and Kiki Iriafen, not Caitlin, which seems to be exactly what she intended. It's her way of lifting the weight off her teammates, while declaring the Fever won't be intimidated.
Go, I guess. But we can say this. I told you guys, Sophie Cunningham was going to be something for this team. She showed it today, and it's amazing. You go in and ball out against these chicks in the WNBA, they get mad and they get their feelings hurt. They get butt hurt. And so instead of turning to basketball and defense, nah.
Sophie Cunningham took a preseason scuffle and turned it into a major storyline. What began with a hard foul has now sparked a full-on rivalry. By embracing the villain role and delivering a 21-point performance, she proved she's not just here to compete, she's here to defend. The May 28 rematch with the Mystics suddenly means a lot more. Will Sophie keep up the intensity? Will her battle with Kiki escalate? This growing rivalry has become must-watch basketball.